Welcome to latest News Blaster. The shocking case surrounding rising music star D4VD has taken an even darker and more unbelievable turn as the coroner's investigation into the tragic death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez has revealed disturbing new details that have left fans, critics, and the entire entertainment industry reeling, because what initially appeared to be a mysterious tragedy has now become a full-blown scandal, with endless unanswered questions and jaw-dropping revelations, starting with the confirmation that the body discovered inside the front trunk of D4VD's impounded Tesla was indeed that of missing teenager Celeste, a revelation that alone sent shockwaves through social media. But the coroner's report pushed the story into even murkier waters by officially stating that the cause of death is still undetermined, meaning nobody yet knows if Celeste was murdered, if she overdosed, if it was an accident, or if something else entirely sinister happened. And that uncertainty has fueled every kind of rumor imaginable, from conspiracy theories about human trafficking to speculation about a possible cover-up, while the investigation also crushed one of the most explosive early rumors, that Celeste might have been pregnant, when the medical examiner confirmed that she was not pregnant at the time of death, effectively eliminating one major theory but at the same time raising new and disturbing questions about why a young girl's body would be concealed in a luxury vehicle tied to a successful singer, especially considering the fact that the body was already in an advanced state of decomposition, suggesting it had been there for weeks, which only adds to the horror and confusion. And as police continue their probe, they have already seized electronics, hard drives, and personal devices from a Hollywood Hills property where D4VD had been staying, a move that signals investigators are digging into his digital life to search for any trace of communication, motive, or involvement, while sources say the elite robbery homicide division is handling the case, underscoring how serious the authorities consider this situation. And the coroner's revelations come at a time when the teen's devastated family has just received her body back, preparing for a funeral on October 4th, a funeral that will undoubtedly be covered by cameras and media worldwide, because the entire story has already transcended celebrity gossip to become a global headline about fame, power, responsibility, and the dark side of the music industry. And in the meantime, D4VD himself has cancelled his tour dates, released no public statement, and is facing massive backlash as brands quietly back away and collaborators scramble to distance themselves, because nobody wants their name linked to what could turn into one of the most explosive legal cases in recent memory. Yet despite all the scrutiny, investigators have not announced any charges or arrests, leaving the public to speculate wildly about whether D4VD is a suspect, a witness, or just tragically entangled in something far beyond his control. And the fact that Celeste was only 15 years old makes the entire situation even more chilling, as fans and critics alike demand to know how she ended up inside his car, who put her there, how long she was hidden, and what exactly caused her death. But until the coroner's final report is complete and detectives piece together the timeline, every shocking new update only deepens the sense of mystery and dread, with some calling it a modern-day Hollywood horror story, others insisting it exposes a seedy underworld that lurks beneath the glamorous music scene, and countless voices online begging for justice for Celeste, while simultaneously speculating whether this will mark the end of D4VD's rising career, or whether he can possibly survive the scandal. But no matter how you frame it, one thing is absolutely certain: the coroner's investigation has changed everything, because what began as whispers of a tragedy has now exploded into one of the most disturbing and talked about stories of the year, and the world is left holding its breath, waiting for the next bombshell revelation in a case that is far from over. As the shocking investigation into the D4VD and Celeste Rivas case intensifies, the fallout has only continued to spiral into chaos, with every single detail becoming more bizarre, unsettling, and newsworthy than the last. And what makes the story so gripping is the way it combines tragedy, celebrity, and unanswered questions into one giant storm of speculation. Because in the aftermath of the coroner's initial findings, experts, journalists, and armchair detectives have rushed to analyze every fragment of information, noting that the phrase "cause of death deferred" is not just an administrative technicality, but a sign that the medical examiner needs further toxicology results, deeper autopsy testing, and possibly investigative input to finalize conclusions. which means we are dealing with a death so mysterious that it cannot yet be pinned down to anything simple, leaving the public to wonder whether foul play, drugs, or a previously hidden medical condition could be involved. And the chilling reality is that until those test results are in, Celeste's death remains shrouded in uncertainty, fueling intense speculation about what went on in her final days, who she may have been with, and why she ultimately ended up inside a Tesla linked to a chart-topping artist. And that alone has given rise to a tidal wave of conspiracy theories that have consumed social media platforms like X, TikTok, and Instagram, where hashtags like #JusticeForCeleste, #D4VDExposed, and #TeslaMystery are trending daily, with users debating whether this is evidence of a larger criminal network, whether D4VD himself knew more than he has revealed, or whether he has been framed in some elaborate plot designed to destroy his career. And adding to the chaos is the fact that his silence has been deafening, with fans demanding answers, critics labeling him guilty by association, and legal experts pointing out that while silence is a common strategy on the advice of attorneys, it also creates a vacuum that is filled by rumors, innuendo, and viral narratives that may have no grounding in fact. And meanwhile, Celeste's grieving family has spoken out through friends and community members, expressing devastation not only at the loss of their daughter, but at the way her death has become a global spectacle, with paparazzi camping outside their home and journalists chasing every possible angle of the story, turning what should have been a private mourning into an international headline circus. Yet the family continues to push for answers, insisting that Celeste's short life deserves clarity and justice, which raises the pressure on investigators to move quickly. But criminal investigations do not unfold on social media timelines, and the LAPD has made it clear they are following multiple leads and carefully piecing together a timeline of events that could explain how a 15-year-old girl went missing, how long she may have been missing before her body was discovered, and who, if anyone, was responsible for placing her inside the Tesla that ultimately led to this unraveling scandal. And in parallel, the entertainment industry has been rocked by the case, with D4VD's cancelled tour dates causing financial and reputational damage not only to him but to promoters, venues, and sponsors, many of whom are now scrambling to limit their exposure, with insiders revealing that several brand deals have already quietly been terminated, major festival appearances withdrawn, and collaborative projects frozen until further notice, showing how quickly one tragedy can ripple outward into an entire ecosystem of music, business, and culture. And yet, for all the professional fallout, the human cost remains the most chilling part, as advocates for missing and exploited children point to Celeste's case as another example of how vulnerable teens can slip through the cracks, how predators can operate in plain sight, and how fame can mask deeper issues lurking beneath the surface. While critics of celebrity culture argue that fans and labels alike are often too quick to idolize young stars, without truly knowing the company they keep or the darker realities that surround their rise. And these criticisms have become even louder as rumors swirl about who Celeste may have been with in her final hours, whether she had connections to D4VD's circle, and whether other young people may also be at risk, sparking calls for broader investigations into the social scenes that intersect with fame, nightlife, and underage vulnerability. But even as the commentary grows louder and wilder, the cold hard facts remain painfully few. A teenage girl is dead, her body was concealed in a luxury car linked to a celebrity, and the cause of death remains unresolved, which is why experts are cautioning that while speculation is natural, the truth will likely only emerge through painstaking forensic analysis, toxicology, and police legwork. And until then, we may simply be living through one of the most dramatic unsolved celebrity-linked cases of the decade, one that exposes how fame, tragedy, and the internet collide to create a perfect storm of attention, outrage, and mystery. And as October 4 approaches, the date of Celeste's funeral, the entire world will be watching not just to honor her short life, but to see whether any new revelations emerge. Because if history has shown us anything, it is that cases like these rarely fade quietly, they erupt in waves, each new revelation more shocking than the last, and every new piece of evidence capable of flipping the entire narrative upside down, leaving everyone asking the same haunting question: what really happened to Celeste Rivas, and how much more is still being hidden from us?
This moment will be remembered for years to come.
If you were moved, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this report with your friends. More exclusive stories and emotional updates are on the way, so stay tuned.